we are going to do an upgrade of our closet. I don't know how many of you actually have an RV closet and have these wonderful things. Right? This is one rail that I've already removed. They go into the closet like that, and then you hang your stuff here, which theoretically gives you 2 hangers per spot. You can actually fit 3 in there if you're going with the plastic hangers, and if you're going with wire hangers you can fit many more in there. The problem with this is, as you see, once you put it in the spot, you can't slide it side to side. So all you can do is push things back and forth and possibly rearrange a little bit that way. But when you've got a row of clothes in the front and then a row of clothes in the back here, it makes it really hard to actually get to anything in your closet. And the other day the wife was trying to get something out of the closet and she had some problems and she got a little frustrated. So we are now going to upgrade our closet. What we're going to do is take those rails out and we are going to put traditional rods in here. Now the reason why RV manufacturers put those rails in there with those spots is because they keep the hangers from falling off the rail. And the thought is that hangers on one of these rods will fall off when you're driving down the road. And there's a couple different ways to solve this. You can either have a whole bunch of clothes on there so they don't jostle around, which, if you look over here, that's our pile of clothes. So we will probably have plenty of clothes because that's only part of it. The rest is in the laundry right now. We will probably have plenty of clothes to keep them on the rod. If that's not the case and we find them in a pile in our closet, then what we'll do is we'll take a bungee cord and run it along the top of the pole, and then that'll keep the hangers from falling off. So there's multiple ways to solve the problem of them falling off the hangers. Having them on the rod will allow us to move clothes side to side and be able to find things behind or otherwise located in the closet. So it'll be a little bit more convenient. It'll be more like your traditional home closet. If you're in your traditional home closet, if you've got a rod, you'll realize how easy it is to slide the clothes from side to side and find stuff. If instead you've got those wire racks that have the dividers, you're probably feeling the same pain we are. So we're going to put these poles in. Now one of the challenges with putting these poles in is that traditionally you're going to have either hooks that come out from the wall back here, which as you can see from me pushing on it here, maybe you can. If you look, that's pretty flexible. That's like an 1/8 inch piece of Luan plywood. Not very sturdy, and it's not going to hold any hooks. The other way is to use these end caps here, or end pole sockets, and to put them on the side over here, which fortunately this one's pretty solid, but the other end is not. So what I'm going to do to help overcome that is take these conduit hangers. These are in the electrical aisle of the home improvement store, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the holes in the top, screw it into the same beam, because there's actually a frame beam above where we're putting this, that this was in. So we're going to put the pole hangers on the end, and they'll provide a little support, and then I'm going to screw a few of these into the ceiling, and hopefully they'll provide enough support to keep these in place. If not, we'll be back redoing this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish taking that current rod out, and then we're going to move forward to installing these. Shouldn't be that hard to do. I am. Now before you think that I only had a couple screws holding this in here, before we started the video we already removed most of them. So this is the other rail that was in the back for hanging clothes. We can actually fit quite a few clothes in here with these 2 rails, so I'm hoping that the wooden rails are going to allow us much more convenience. So as you can see, the conduit holders kind of hang down a little ways, not very far, so I need to make sure that my end caps are actually in the right spot. So I'm going to take this conduit holder and I'll put it here on the ceiling, and then I'm going to mark where I like my poles to be. then I'm going to go do that on the other side. That way I don't have it all out of whack and have one thing holding all the weight of the pole and the clothes at the same time. So as you can see up here, we've got the conduit hangers in place in the center. We have our closet rod end down here, and we've got our closet rod. I'm going to try to get it in there. I'm trying to leave it, well, that wasn't successful. So I'm going to try to leave it fairly tight. Unfortunately, I just bent my other one down on the other end, so I'm going to have to fix that. But once I get that, I'm going to slide it into here, and hopefully it'll all hold. Alright, so maybe we can see this a little bit better in here. What we've got is the pole in there. We've got a couple cable conduits or conduit clamps, and then we got the pole in and another one down there. As was found out in the previous little bit, that side is pretty weak, so I put another conduit clamp down on that end. So I'm going to tighten all those up, and then we're going to see how sturdy it is and if it's going to hold. And now we have it fully installed on this one. It feels pretty sturdy. I don't think it's going to come down. So, one thing I would point out, that if I were to decide to take the time and energy to redo this, I would put these conduit clamps the other direction so that these bolts aren't sticking out towards us. I'd rather have them sticking towards the rear, and I'll do that on the next one that I do here. But all in all, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I don't feel like taking it back apart, so unless it causes skin knuckles in the future or anything like that, it's going to stay just the way it is. Alright, so this is what we ended up with. We've got a rod end up there. We've got two cable conduits, and you notice that I did take the time to turn the bolts around in the middle because I didn't want anybody to get upset with hitting them. And then we've got a cable end down there, and this bolt I left facing this direction on purpose. Remember I said that if clothes fall off we're going to run a bungee cord, so I wanted that bolt accessible. And then down here in the back I didn't use any cable or any rod ends because it's curved back there, but I did ensure that our cable conduit clamps ended up into something solid. So I put one on each end and then one in the middle, and you can pull down on it pretty hard, and I don't see any issues there. Of course, the true test is going to have it loaded up with clothes, take it down the road, have it hit some bumps, see if anything falls apart. But I think we're pretty good there. I don't think we'll have any issues. So, if you're unhappy with, actually let me flip you around here. So, if you're tired of fighting with the separated clothes rods in your closet, it's a really easy upgrade. It didn't cost that much, less than $100. And $50 of that expense was, actually, I'd say probably around $70 was the true expense, because I bought some other stuff while I was at Home Depot. $50 of that expense was the actual rods, so they're kind of pricey. They're actual closet rods that are designed not to warp and bend, so they shouldn't give any problems. If you do it like I did with the cable conduit, you might be able to get away with some lighter weight dowels that are a little bit less expensive, but you probably won't save much money, and these are a higher quality closet rod. So you don't have to fight with those terrible separated closet rods like that. You can actually put a standard household one in there if you use a little bit of ingenuity and planning, and your wife will be much happier, and you'll be able to find clothes in the back. So until next time, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and like our videos, and keep following us.